Hey guys, Doug B here, your average axe-wielding hack. Now this is usually preset of the week, where I highlight a factory preset or a preset created by third-party creators. But just like last week, let's try something a little different. This week we're going to try to create a preset that replicates Stevie Ray Vaughan's rig. But which one? Good question. I got a request a while ago from Alton Reed that goes like this. Build an SRV preset, super reverb, 410s with an 808 and some vibratone. Well, yeah, we can do that. Maybe we can add some extra goodies. Stevie toured from 1982 to 1990. The gear he used over that 8-year period changed quite a bit. So let's go with the 1985 rig. The graphic shows a pretty elaborate setup. He used 4 strats and they would get plugged into an MXR loop selector. Then the signal went to a 60s Vox wah and a TS9 tube screamer. From there it went to a splitter that fed a Dumble steel string singer connected to a Dumble 4x12 slant cabinet loaded with Electro-Voice speakers. A Marshall Major connected to a Dumble 4x12 straight cabinet loaded with Electro-Voice speakers. 2 Fender Super Reverb 4x10 combos also loaded with Electro-Voice speakers. And a Fender VibroVerb 1x15 combo that was connected to a Fender Vibratone. Okay, axe edit time. I put together a preset using Quick Build, adding the wah, drive, amp, cab, comp, chorus, rotary, and reverb blocks. Just like last week, I'm trying to be as efficient as possible so that this preset can work on all 3 modelers. In the wah block, I chose the VX845 type and connected it to my expression pedal. You click here, you get the edit modifier panel, source 1, external 1. In the drive block, we're going to use 3 channels. Channel A has the T808 OD, Channel B has the TS9DX Plus, and Channel C has the Clone Chiron. The amp block is going to use all 4 channels. Channel A will be the Dumble Steel String Singer, Channel B will be the Marshall Major, Channel C will be the Fender Super Reverb, and Channel D will be the Fender VibroVerb. Let's see how we can sort this out. There is no Steel String Singer equivalent amp type, but John Kenishiro made a video on how to make a Steel String Singer preset using a method that Austin Buddy created. This is not a copy of an Austin Buddy commercial preset. I'll put a link to John's video so that you can see more of the detail that went into his preset. Now, believe it or not, we'll be using the SV Bass 1 type. Going to the Ideal tab, the settings are 6.56 for the gain, 4.00 for the bass, 6.26 for mid, 5.82 for treble, 0 for high treble, 2.05 for presence, 1.06 for depth, 6.62 for master volume, minus 18.1 for level. Next, go to the preamp tab and select Skyline for the tone stack type, and then select mid for the tone stack location. Now we go to the output EQ tab, choose 5-band passive for type, and choose 1.5 for low, low mid, and mid, and then choose 2.00 for high mid and high. Now go to the Dynamics tab, choose Gain Enhancer for out comp type, and then change out compression to 0.75. That's it for channel A. Now let's switch to channel B for the Marshall Major. Once again, we don't have an equivalent type, so we have to make a reasonable facsimile. The following solution is based on a 2014 post from Fractal forum member Zarkon. I chose the Plexi 100 watt 1970 type, changed the tone stack location to mid, leave the tone stack type to default. I set the power tube type to KT88GEN. I dialed down supply sag slightly to 1.5. Now for channel C, we'll choose the Super Verb normal type, and for channel D, we'll choose the Vibrato Verb type. I couldn't find much information on Stevie's settings, so I did a lot of trial and error. I won't go over the details of the final settings for those channels here, but you can download this preset from AxeChange and check them out. Moving on to the cab block, for channel A, we'll choose the Legacy number 106 4x12 Rumble EV12S M160 for cab 1, and then Factory 2 number 127, a 2x12 two-stone 57A for cab 2. Proximity is bumped up to 3 for both cabs. Change low cut to 90 Hz. Bump room level up to 21.4%. For channel B, we'll choose factory tune number 220, 4x10 Superverb 57A. I couldn't find a 4x10 cab with EVs. Oh well. And again, we bump the proximity up to 3, change the low cut to 90 Hz, and change room level to 21.4%. For channel C, we'll use factory 1, number 618, a 1x15 vibrato verb 57A. And again, proximity is at 3.00, low cut is at 90 Hz, and room level is at 21.4%. Now let's look at the comp block. We're using the Studio FF Compressor 1 type in channel A. We've changed the threshold to minus 33.9 dB. We'll make sure that auto makeup is set to on. Dial the mix back to 35.9% and set the level to 2.15 dB. Moving on to the chorus block, we're using the Dimension 1 type and dialing the mix back to 10.6%. The rotary block is what I use to replicate the vibratone. At first I took the high level out, right here, because a vibratone only has a rotating baffle with no horn. But that sounded too muffled. I tried all sorts of combinations before finally settling on the default settings. Sometimes the default settings work the best. In the reverb block, we're using the South Church type. We changed the time to 2.06 seconds, and we dialed the mix back to 17.6%. Okay, now we'll take a look at the scenes. Scene 1 is the Dumble Steel String Singer. Scene 2 is the Marshall Major. Scene 3 is the Super Reverb Clean. Scene 4 is the Super Reverb plus the T808. Scene 5 is the Super Reverb plus the TS9. Scene 6 is the Vibroverb. Scene 7 is the Vibratone Clean. And Scene 8 is the Vibratone Dirty. Now before we test it, let's make sure it can run on all 3 modelers. It's using between, 46% and 54% of the CPU on my Axe FX3 Mark I. Let's load it onto the FM3 and see if it can handle it. All right, it's only using between 73 and 75% on the FM3. I'm guessing that it uses around 63% on the FM9. If one of you FM9 owners could try it out and get back to me, I'd really appreciate it. All right, let's see how it sounds with my Silver Sky SE. Now, I'd like to say thank you to Austin Buddy, John Kaneshiro, and Zarkon. This preset would not have been possible without their invaluable expertise. Now, like I said before, I will put this preset on AxeChange where you can download it for free. Drop me a line and let me know how it works for you, or if you've improved it. Love to see it. Love to hear it. Now, this Friday will be part 4 of my Fractal Modelers for Beginners series for those guys that just got their brand new Fractal Modeler. Now, last week we looked at the A through E knobs, so this week we are going to take a look at the rest of the buttons and the value knob. Now, you do not want to miss that. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button and ring that notification bell. All right, guys, I will see you on Friday.